Welcome back, Metalheads, to the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Hope you're well. Today I've got a fantastic interview for you. Now, I've just interviewed Ronnie Atkins from Pretty Maids. Now, we've been talking about his last solo album, Trinity, which is a brilliant album. If you've not heard it, check it out. We've also been talking about the reformation of Pretty Maids. Now, we all know the band are doing some festivals this year. So I want to thank Ronnie for doing this interview. I want to thank Emma for setting up this interview. So please, folks, please check out this interview. It's a fantastic interview. Please share, leave comments, and thanks for watching. Do my interviews coming soon, lads?
Hi, Jason.
How are you, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm all right. And you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good to see you again. How's your health these days?
Well, no, actually, my doctor's on vacation. So no, I'm joking. It's good. It's good.
Good.
I'm fine. I'm
I'm good.
fine.
I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. So we're talking to Ronnie Atkins, folks, from Pretty Maids and Ronnie's solo career. So, Ronnie, thank you for doing this interview once again. I'm going to ask you some warm-up questions. First of all, how successful has the last three albums been for you, your solo career, since we did the last interview?
I think they've done pretty good, all of them. I think, these days it's difficult putting albums out, because the whole recording industry is kind of, well, let me put it that way. It's not like it used to be in the old days where they, like, instantly, even constantly, kind of promoted the album. You put it out, put out two kind of low budget professional, low budget videos, two or three singles or whatever, and that's it. And then you try to hit the road and play some songs, do a little promotion for yourself and stuff like that. But I mean, the albums, the from fans, I mean, I had good reviews and stuff like that. I think I really had the impression that the fans liked the album, and the press as well, actually. So for me, it was, as I probably said before, to me, doing those three albums were like, just like, keeping myself occupied with something that I really love doing. So it's been good. Three albums in 3 years, and a Nordic Union album on top. So I've been pretty busy doing that. But it's been great. It's been fun.
Oh, so you've
Absolutely.
got another Nordic Union album coming out soon, have we?
I don't have. There's no plans about it. I haven't heard anything. So that's another. That's kind of a Frontiers thing, actually. It's like they owe the name, So I'm in that case. I'm just, me and Eric are kind of hired guns, to do that kind of stuff. But there's no plans currently about it. We haven't talked about it. So I will not rule out that there will be one album at some point of time. But it all depends, Nobody. I don't predict too far away in the future. It's difficult for me to. I try to do my best to plan. And as I said, right now I'm feeling absolutely great. And this year I'll focus on playing live, basically.
Yeah, right. Okay. And so the last album, Make It Count, did you do a lot of touring for that album?
Well, make it count. No, we didn't. We didn't actually. We just did like a couple of shows up here in Scandinavia and one in Hamburg in Germany, and basically the same thing with the Trinity album. It's the same thing. And then we went to Japan in February playing for that album. But and that's it for now. Now we're going out with doing a couple of shows for Pretty Maids, and for the first time in 5 years. And so I kind of put that solo project a little bit on hold, right? Doesn't mean I still write songs and stuff like that, but I don't have any plans to release anything right now. And I'll be doing Avantasia as well, So I'm having a pretty, well. We actually do two gigs in the two festivals in the summer, with my own band. So it's I've got enough to do this summer. It's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward to go out play some big festivals and stuff like that again, and with all the bands I'm involved in.
Are you doing any UK shows? Because you haven't played UK since, I think, the Underworld in London was the last time you played England with Pretty Maids.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean, when was that? 2013 or something like
Oof, I remember talking to you all. Yeah, probably. It was a long
that.
time ago.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. Well, there is not anything planned at the moment, but I mean, I would love to play England again. It was great. I mean, either that would most likely be with Pretty Maids, if so, I guess. But I see it's difficult these days. It's not. it's, I mean, if there's a promoter coming up and saying, yeah, I would like to do a couple of shows and we can pay you this and that, yeah, if it's worth doing. I mean, also financially. I mean, I don't want to take a bank loan to go out and play, but these days it's a bit like everybody's, because of the streaming thing. You know how the recording
Yeah.
business is, so everybody want to go out and play, and the promoters knows that, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bad circle, you're in, But we're getting gigs. Pretty Maids, we'll do a couple of shows because, as I said, it's been such a long time, and it's going to be fun, and there's quite a lot of interest for it, So that'll be cool.
So when you start writing songs, Ronnie, how does it work for you? Does it what inspires you to write songs? Is it looking outside the window? Is it noises you hear? How do you write songs? What makes you drive?
The noises inside my head.
The demons.
No, I mean it's very much in constant periods, If I say to myself, now I want to start writing, and I psych myself up for it, it just comes. I mean, I don't know where it comes. Sometimes it comes from playing the piano or sitting fiddle around with the guitar, but actually most of the ideas I come up with the melodies that comes in my head, and then sit down and find the chords that goes underneath it. But sometimes it's the other way around. You find some exciting chords and you come up with a melody. But if I'm focused on it, well, that's what I do. But as I said, right now I'm not really. It doesn't mean I don't write anything, because I do. I just did, actually, but I'm not planning on recording a new album this year. So I just want to, this summer, I just want to, well, I don't not chill out, but just have fun playing live.
So how
That's
many
my
songs? How many
that's my
songs?
goal.
How many songs do you actually have that you haven't released? You must have thousands of lyrics just lying around doing nothing.
No, I don't have any. I've got a couple of songs, more or less written or finished, that would be songs, because I was actually started working a little bit on another solo album. So I wrote a couple of songs. It's not totally finished, but close. But lyrics, I'm like, no, the lyrics is the last things I write, actually. I always I write the melodies first, and then I write the lyrics. But that doesn't mean that I don't write. I write it down a lot of notes. If I'm watching a movie or something, or watching a documentary, historical documentary, whatever, something. And if there's a great line or something, that might be inspiring. I'll write it down, because it might come in handy at some point.
I mean, you write some fantastic lyrics, Ronnie. You really do. You're like one of the best lyricists out there. My girlfriend seems to think like you're an amazing lyricist. We all do. I mean, you're a fantastic singer. Definitely underrated singer. You don't get the recognition you deserve. That's for sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll leave that up to other people, But I mean, lyrically, yeah, but, I just like to write songs about something that kind of relates to ordinary people, about situations we all like. The last couple of albums I've done, of course, has been a little bit more personal than what I'd normally do. But the good thing about doing a solo album is that I can be personal. If I write on behalf of a band, it's a little different, because then I represent that band, kind of. Doesn't mean I can't have my own opinion, but you can be a little bit more personal. And also, of course, all the shit I've been going through the last couple of years with the cancer thing and stuff like that, and partly counting, that of course is has inspired me quite a bit and been my way out of the darkness, to write myself out of it a bit, kind of. But I like to write about. I'd like to write about history, the politics and stuff like that, the climate change and stuff. But I always did, actually. I mean, the funny thing, I wrote about the climate change the first time back in like 40 years ago, something like that. And even, I mean, some of the lyrics I wrote about, even all the way back to the 80s, writing about the Cold War and the nuclear threat and shit like that. That's suddenly that's suddenly back again. I mean, what the fuck's going on? I mean, with this world, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, then so we're going to talk to you now about the Trinity album. Who came up with the title? Did you come up with the title, and did you have any other titles for this album?
I haven't done an interview about that album now for a long time, but can't hardly remember the titles. But well, again, it was Trinity was. I mean, the title track in itself is also a little. about my faith and stuff like that. You can say, and Little Game of Words with Trinity was like it was 3 albums, So,
What is
but
your
the lyrics,
faith? What is your faith, Ronnie? What is your faith? What faith do you have?
I'm Christian.
Okay, yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a Christian, but listen, I'm not. I find some kind of comfort, and I always did believe in something. I don't really know what it is, but definitely something better.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm not like going to school. I'm not a saint, for God's sake. I'm not. I'm the first to admit that, But I try to be as good as a person as I can be. But I had my misdemeanors. I've done my share of bad. I didn't always follow the Ten Commandments, but generally, I believe in that there is something better up there when that day comes, or we will be judged. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah. So the title Trinity, you come up
Mhm.
with you come up with the title. What does it mean
Yeah.
to you? What does it mean to you?
Well, it can mean a lot of things, I mean, but the Trinity was just the game here is well the holy triad kind of, and also the fact that it was 3 albums, So as I said, it was a little kind of a game of words, and I thought it just fit good. I like short titles actually, we did that with Pretty Maids as well sometimes, and I think it's a good title, it fits, it's not particularly original, but I think it worked with the lyrics for the song and as an album title as well.
There are no other titles at all for this album.
Well, if there were other options,
Yeah.
I think I had an idea called "Possible in Principle." Was a working title at some point, but
Okay.
I can use that for another one. I'll save it for a rainy day.
I mean, I'm looking at the album title cover now. It's really futuristic. I mean, it's kind of like reminds me about Future World, kind of in some way. I mean, it's also reminds me of like all these sci-fi films. What made you want to do like a sci-fi cover?
I never really been super. Maybe I was in the '80s. We were a little bit into sci-fi, but I'm not into that. I'm not really into that kind of lyrical content. The same as when I'm touring with Avantasia, sometimes it's difficult for me to actually understand what Toby's writing about because that's very much his own. And it's something he creates in his head, and it's more like fantasy or whatever it is. But the great thing, and it doesn't matter whether it's lyrics I write or lyrics he write, is that if it's something people can relate to somehow, that's what it's all about.
Do you write lyrics for Avantasia or is it Toby?
No,
Toby? No.
no, Toby, that is 100% Toby's project. I'm just a singer in that
Right.
project.
So who did the
Hired.
artwork for this album, Trinity? Who did the artwork? Did you have any other concepts for this album cover?
Not really. I mean, I just had the title, and I sent it to Kai, the guy that did all the recent Pretty Maids covers as well, and he did my solo albums as well. I just sent it to him, and he came up with some ideas. I mean, there's no story behind the cover of the album as such. Only that when I saw it, I thought kind of that it fit, with the title, But don't I can't really go in details about how, but it just looked right.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was never the big cover guy, and either in Pretty Maids. It never really had any particular interest for me, to be honest. I was more into the music and stuff like that. So I leave
Okay.
that up to people, but I think it works. I think Trinity is a great cover. Actually, I think it's the best cover of the 3 albums I've done.
Right then. So how long did it take to record this album? I presume Jacob produced the album again.
Yeah, well, Chris Laney kind of produced the album. That's my collaborator in this.
Yeah.
We work pretty tight together. I send the stuff up to him, all the ideas and bits and pieces, and he's good at doing Pro Tools and stuff like that. And he might come up with another suggestion for a rhythm or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we agree on an arrangement, and then he does a demo of it, and that's how we did on the first album. Then I go over to Jacob Hansen's studio, which is like an hour from where I live, and record the lyrics, well, the vocals,
Yeah.
and then we record the drums finally in the end. So it's totally the opposite way around.
That's
But
weird. That's really strange that you've done the drums last.
yeah, but the reason why we did it on the first album was that I didn't know, and this is not to sound like I'm whining or anything or sound pathetic or anything, but the fact is, I just wanted to make sure that I got the vocals done in case I should die. you know, and that it sounds very pretty crazy, but that's the truth. Nevertheless, it's the truth, you know. So we just kind of stuck to that formula for those three
Right.
albums because it
Yeah.
worked fine. Yeah.
Interesting. So what songs do you have from the what songs are your favourites from the Trinity album? Do you have any favourites?
I think the title track is one of my favorite albums songs. Soul Divine is I think is a very nice ballad because it's about my grandchild. You know, I actually wrote that song when she was born a couple of days after. Totally inspired by that because that was something I love kids, man, and I didn't see that coming a couple of years ago, and I would actually be a granddad. You know, so she's my little angel on earth. So that's a very personal song. But I mean, generally, I like most of the songs on the album. I don't think there's any songs I don't like. I like Raining Fire as well. Shine, I like. Um, but it's a little diverse, you know. Like if you can dream it, you can do it. I think it's a pretty, you know, it's just a very positive lyric, you know, and a happy song. Could have been Brian Adams who sang that one.
I
But
mean, you're right.
generally, I never put anything on an album that I don't like, you know. So I'd rather put out, you know, put 10 songs on it that I think are strong than 14 songs where 6 or 7 are fillers, you know. Because that's well, of course, there's always songs when you work on them that you have certain expectations to one particular song, maybe, you know, a track, and sometimes it just doesn't turn out the way you actually wanted it to be. And sometimes the other round, a song that you didn't really have, you know, any particularly high hopes for. You think it's a good song, but and sometimes that turns out to be the best. You know, it's. But I think overall, in generally, I think Trinity, the title track, is a really good song. You know, it's got a good riff and it's very melodic and it's just got a good vibe to it.
Yeah, you write some brilliant ballads, though, Ronnie. Definitely write some amazing ballads.
Thank you.
You always
Well,
have done. You
a
always.
couple
I
of
mean,
good.
Savage Heart's one of my favourite songs by Pretty Maids. That's amazing. So, I mean, that must have been played quite a few funerals. I think that song. It
You know
sounds like
what? You know that song is personal too. You know, because I wrote that. I didn't write. We wrote the song, me and Kenny together. You know, I wrote the lyrics, and that was about my mom who died in the early '88. You know, when we wrote that song. So that's pretty personal too. You know,
yeah,
so I played that song quite a lot of times. Yeah, live. Not at a funeral though. I got to say
no,
that.
no, that's awesome. That's
I
good to
once
know that.
actually I once played for, and this is a really, really weird, was a pretty weird story, and I'll never do it again, you know. But there was a guy living here on the street, you know, who was really much into rock and roll, and this is like years before I had cancer, you know. He had cancer, he had stomach cancer, you know. So he came up to me while I was like walking around my basement, kind of renovating my basement, you know. And he came down. I knew he was sick, and he came down to me if I would. He had one big request that I should sing 2 songs at his funeral. And I just said, well, it's totally surreal to me, you know, that he came and asked me that. Wife was
Mm.
there too. But I ended up doing it. And that was the most weird thing I've ever done. You know, I'd never do it again.
Yeah, oh,
So
that's good.
that was Paradise City by Guns N' Roses and Wild Horses by Rolling Stones. Well,
Oh,
that was
interesting.
weird. Being up there next to his coffin with an acoustic guitar and playing those acoustic guitar. I wouldn't do that. That was too sad, man. That was horrible.
I can
But I did
imagine.
it. I kept my promise, you know.
Yeah, good on you, man. So, how long did it take to record Trinity?
Well, it was like I think we recorded half of it in the fall of 22, you know, and then the rest of it in yeah, February, March last year. You know, it's like 5 songs in the fall, 5 in the spring. We just wrote it actually. As I wrote the songs, we set it up to Chris and we got it. But that's the way we've been doing it, you know. So it's not that we have 10 songs. We just do it accordingly, kind of, you know, maybe a song or two a month, whatever, you know. When the ideas pops up, you know, we got to get them done. So
So,
so
the lineup is it? Sorry, is the lineup is the lineup going to be the same if you do another album?
yeah, probably it's like the whole thing started out with me doing the first, you know, the whole thing about doing a solo album. It wasn't really a specific plan I had. But I had a lot of ideas that I didn't think would fit into the Pretty Maids stuff. You can always produce things in so they fit kind of. But the whole thing started with that is that the movies thing was something Chris and Morton, old keyboard player, and Alan
Yeah.
Simpson, a drum, and some guys from the Swedish mafia up in Stockholm, right? So they did this at the movies thing, which was like a COVID. What the hell are we? What else are we gonna do? We got to do something. So they started doing that, and that was pretty. A lot of people checked it out on YouTube and stuff. It was pretty successful, right? So he asked me if I wanted to sing on a song, and I said, yeah, well, I'll do it if I can sing, because at the time being I had chemo, I had a lot of radiotherapy, and I was on immune therapies, and I couldn't sing after the surgery for a while. I couldn't reach when I turned on
Yeah.
the heavy shit, I started coughing, so I was basically coughing for 3 or 4 months until suddenly I did this version of We Don't Need Another Hero, the old Tina Turner classic, and I did that one, and then I knew, and I did in 2 takes, and I did it at Jacob's Place, and I said, yeah, fucking hell, man, the pipes are still working. And that's when I started saying, yeah, let's do it. And Chris said, well, send me some of your ideas, man. Let's rock, and that's what we did. It was COVID. We couldn't do anything else. So that's how the whole thing started, actually.
Right. Okay. So now we're going to talk about these guys, Pretty Maids. So
Mm-hmm.
you've recently got back together. You've done your first rehearsal, I believe, last week. How successful was that rehearsal for you?
It was successful, man. We didn't go into any arguments. So, I mean, that was the criteria for success. I don't know. We just played together, for the first time in 5 years. But I thought it was pretty fucking tight, man. I got to say that, considering. I mean, I didn't expect that it would take a long time to get tight. After all, we played some of these songs for so many years, but still, we haven't played for 5 years, and I thought it sounded pretty good. There was just the beginning. We're gonna have some more rehearsals within the next month, because we're gonna do the first gig in 5 years in Portugal.
So how did you guys get back together then? Because I know you can kind of had a kind of fall out, but you got back together, friends. And how did the old snowball start rolling again?
Well, I met Kenny. I had met Kenny. Me and Kenny had some issues, Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't want to go in details about
No,
that.
no, I understand.
But we also been more like brothers for fucking more than 40 years.
Yeah, definitely.
I was just, yeah, those things were not too good. But so we met up actually at a festival, which is one of the festivals we're going to do this year, called Jailbreak, which is like right here in my backyard.
Okay. All
So
right.
we met up, and we had an offer to play Copenhagen and Jailbreak, and I was like, well, I mean, let's see, man. Let's talk about it, and then we should do a couple of more gigs, But we were out pretty late, so we're gonna do some shows this summer, maybe some more next year. Let's see, and maybe some gigs in. I don't know if we're gonna do a gig or two in the fall. I don't know yet. It's not really confirmed, but so yeah, we're gonna do some gigs, and let's see how the vibe is. That's where we're at, I mean, we didn't bite each other or anything, didn't get into any fights, so. No, so me and Kenny met, and we just had a couple of beers, and everything was talked about the old days. We can always find something to laugh about.
Yeah.
So many great stories, so many things that we did together, good and bad. Went through good times, went through bad times, and stuff like that. So we just decided, the two of us, that yeah, well, let's go for it. And called the other guys. So you guys in for it? And let's see how it is. And so that's where we're at. We're going to do these gigs for sure this summer, of course. But
So what songs? Sorry, Corey.
well, I can't say now because we haven't done a final set list. But it's going to be, kind of I don't know, the greatest hits. Did we ever have greatest hits? I don't know. But it's got to be something that kind of covers our career more or less. I mean, it's obvious that the more albums you do, the more difficult it becomes to make a set list.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, but we'll do some. We're going to do some old stuff. We're going to do some newer stuff, and some of the stuff that we've done within the last since Pandemonium. I mean, that's been very successful. I think we had kind of a second arising, more or less, in the last couple of years. Some stuff from Kingmaker.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some stuff from Future World, Red Hot, and stuff like that. So let's see. We haven't done a final set list yet.
No. So what did you rehearse at your first rehearsal? What songs did you? What was the first song you jammed?
That's a good question. Was that I think it was actually Serpentine, from the Andres Your Madness album.
Okay.
I think it was. I don't. We had to go with that one. We tried. We played some stuff. We played Pandemonium. We played some of the old stuff as well. I mean, basically the song, some of the stuff from the past, and then we see what works, and maybe we'll, to find a rabbit or something like that. They haven't played for a long time, and bring out. But it is a festival set. It's not like some of the festivals we're doing is like 60 minutes or 70, 75 minutes. It's not like a full set, which is like 90 minutes plus.
Yeah.
So we cannot play like. And I mean, I know we got an album out on Treasure Madness that came in 19, and we never played a song from that one. But it's not that we're going out to play half of that album. It's festival sets, so we might play more songs from the new album. Well, the new album, it's 5-year-old, but you know what I mean. uh, we might play more songs from that if we did some of our own shows at some point. So we try to please the fans, and we like to and try to please ourselves as well.
So I mean, when you guys got together, I mean, you must have had a right good drinking session at the end of the rehearsal. You must have been completely blasted, all of you.
Of course. 3 days. I was sitting on the all day yesterday. Now we had a couple of beers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all fine.
So what songs are you? I mean, if you had the chance to do 2 albums back to back, which ones would they be?
You mean play 2 full albums?
Yeah, 2 albums back to back.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I'll probably Red Hot and Heavy and Future.
Yeah. What about Jump the Gun or Lethal Heroes, whatever you want to talk about the albums?
I can't sing that shit anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I guess I can. But I mean, well, it's always, I don't know, for some reason in particular on that album, Jump the Gun, the vocals had to be right up there, like it was almost like Joe Elliott kind of production, but I mean, you can always tone them down a bit. But when we might play some stuff from Jump the Gun,
Yeah,
I can still sing the songs, but I don't have as much headroom. Even back then, they were tough to sing for me live sometimes, In particular, some of them, they're just so fucking high pitch,
Yeah. So the big question is, everybody wants to know: will there be a new Pretty Maids album?
That is not on the agenda at all right now. Now we just want to feel good, see how the vibe is and the chemistry in the band, and do something. Play some gigs and stuff, and then let's see what happens. I don't want to rule out anything, but I mean, for me, as I said, this year for me is fully focused on playing live. That's what I really want to do. Let's see. And the way it works these days, I mean, I don't know how many bands is actually doing albums anymore, because I think the tendency more goes like in the direction that you do a couple of songs maybe now and then or whatever. I don't know. We haven't made any decisions or anything regarding that. So there's nothing on the table right now.
So will there be how many gigs actually doing this year? How many festivals are you doing?
I don't know. Now we're doing this couple of. We had offers to do other gigs, but the offers weren't, good enough. So we're doing like 5 or 6 gigs, I think, in the summer, and then we do. Maybe we'll do something in the fall. We don't know. It's. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I know you always play the Hammerborg in Copenhagen, don't you? That's one of your main places.
I can't say anything because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Maybe something in Germany, which we do not really cover here in the summer. But let's see what happens. I don't really want to say anything because nothing is decided.
No.
It's all being talked about. So let's see what's doable and stuff like that. But it would be fun.
Well, good luck to you, Ronnie. So I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. God bless you, my friend. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. Do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to play for people wherever they are, and it's got to be great and go out with Pretty Maids again. And I know a lot of people want to see the band again, so we do it again. It's got to be great.
I know my partner definitely wants to meet you and see you live. So it's like I said to her, I need to get to Europe and see these guys if we can. It'd be she's never seen you, never seen Pretty Maids before, so it'd be interesting. Nope, okay. Never.
Well, bring her along. We'll say hi and
yeah.
Whatever,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, okay then, Ronnie. Well, have a nice day and please say hello to the boys for me.
I will, Jason. You take care over
And
there.
you, brother. God bless you. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ronnie. Bye bye. Thank you.